Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, nerdlings of all ages, let's get into game number 2 here between our Pink Terran player who is spawning in the top right-hand corner of Cloud Kingdom. It is representing Team Root. We have Drewbie.
And in the bottom left, Drewbie's opponent today from Team what formerly was Team Zerg, but now has picked up MMA. Guys, it is from Acer, Scarlett.
Does that make like MMA an honorary Zerg? we're gonna have to discuss this. This
Maybe
is actually
MMA
important.
is going to be switching to Zerg in the near future.
Oh, good God! With his like multitasking as Terran,
That would scare me.
I would not want to face MMA as Zerg.
He would finally be the player that actually would use baneling drops like they should be used.
That would be frightening, man.
Like
just goes
drops
Terran
middle
mode
line,
and drops
like,
everywhere at
yeah.
once.
He's like 200. Normally I pay that for 2 medevacs.
That is ridiculous. Let's see.
see it as
I'm
an
really excited to
investment.
see how far he goes in this tournament, but we were discussing that earlier. For now, though, we have a different TVZ on the cards here, as Drewbie just going to be putting down his barracks at his wall off, so nothing too out of the ordinary here. And you were speaking earlier, Kibbles, about how this is a fun map for TVZ from a Terran point of view. Are there any particular strategies that you'd like to see Drewbie try and use the map architecture to exploit against Scarlett here?
We were talking about drops, man.
Mm-hmm.
He should just do some drops. Drewbie, he's just so not famous for this at all, and so a lot of Zergs feel like they can play really, really greedy because they don't have to worry about drops from Drewbie.
That's a great point.
It's also like I was casting the other. I'm trying to remember who it was. Astoji. I was casting Frag for Charity with Astoji the other day, and we saw this Zerg player who just built spore crawlers everywhere. Right? He was like, I do not want to be dropped. I'm going to build 15 spore crawlers in my main base around the entire perimeter. I didn't have quite 15, but still, it gets the idea across that like, all right, look, this player already paid. He invested so much money into preventing drops. Don't try to drop him. And we saw his opponents actually still try to drop him. And Astoji was like, look, this is clearly a player that if you just did a timing push, he's invested so many drones and so much money into preventing drops that you'll actually be able to kill him with the timing push. Mm-hmm. Because he's just put too much money into preventing it.
No, that's a great point, actually. And we saw in game number 1, speaking of drops, Dreby tried one double medevac drop. That did not end very well for him. Scarlett picked it off with the mutas very, very quickly indeed. So maybe he'll be less inclined to do the in game number 2.
Hey, I would say, it ended okay. He still got the idea across to Scarlett. He's like, look, I can't drop. It's so bad. You tried to drop last game and you stopped it. But this game, he could go real drop heavy, and Scarlett wouldn't be expecting this because you get my idea, Jara.
Yeah, no, completely. We're going for a second barracks now at the same time as the natural expansion goes down for Drewbie at the moment. It appears we're having a little bit of a discussion regarding lights at the moment. We can't see where the players are playing, so I'm not 100% sure what they're on about at this moment in time, but I'm sure someone will be getting around to seeing that. It looks like they're still playing okay at this time, so they could be joking around, but if there is a problem, we need to sort that out.
No, definitely. We want minimal destructions to the players, of course.
Destruction. We definitely...
Everybody's on their A-game, man.
Well, maximum destruction, man.
Destruction?
Yeah.
Tiger destruction. That's what I'm thinking of right now. Street Fighter shout out.
So we've got, Zergling speed on the way and another 5-minute layer popping out here from Scarlett.
Yeah. So Drewbie had the same opening. Racks, expand, racks, double gas, and double reactor.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
So, this is... Are you feeling... Is Scarlett... I mean, so far, Scarlett just looks like she could just go into the same thing.
And there's our gas.
Yep.
This is the same build out of both players.
Dear.
Let's look at why this map is different. And when it's different, it's actually better for Scarlett. Arguably, Cloud Kingdom has the most easy to defend natural base in the game. You take a look at how thin this expansion is, and then the ramp is set all the way in the back.
Yeah, sure.
It's really, really difficult to get damage done on Cloud Kingdom. Ohana's actually relatively well defended as well, but I guess the creep spread is a little bit better for Drewbie. It's not so easy to spread creep on Cloud Kingdom. There are ramps at least.
That's true, actually. You need to be able to get vision both above and below those ramps when you get those tumors down. And yes, indeed. So the Spire going down immediately for Scarlett. And I can't really fault her for this at the end of the day. Maybe she had this opening specifically planned out for Ohana.
Absolutely.
But when it worked so well, there's no reason not to give it a go again, I guess.
Yeah, I'm wondering if she, honestly, you know, we were mentioning how these guys have had 3 days to prep for each other and to research, you know, their opponent's build orders. She's probably also extrapolated and researched her next expected few players. I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, she's got both on the opposite side of this bracket. So, you know, Scarlett went, all right, it looks like Drewbie is pretty vulnerable to 2-base Muta, and, well, that's what she's going to be doing right now. So, guys, if you want to learn 2-base Muta, just watch these VODs.
Now, there's a little bit of a difference here coming out from Drewbie. He's not actually swapping over his barracks and his factories in this particular game. If we take a quick look at that, we see the reactors firmly planted on those racks.
That's so good for Drewbie.
Yeah, so he's going to have more Marines this time around as opposed to last game. Fewer Hellions, of course, but they didn't do that much damage. Sure, they killed off 12 drones earlier on, but at the end of the day, he lost so many Hellions doing that, and now he's moving into a Scarlett that already has Banelings out.
Yeah, exactly. That's a huge difference in Scarlett's build right now. Baneling's going to be coming in and making decent connections with the Marines, but Drewbie splitting here reasonably well. It's just with the 3 Queens and the Zergling reinforcements here, it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, no, it was a great split from Drewbie and very, very cost-efficient engagement there. Like you said, Kibbles, though, a little bit too close to those hatcheries, those reinforcing lings accompanying the Queens as well, and Scarlett is able to completely drive Drewbie back. That wasn't a horrible engagement for Drewbie by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah. Getting rid of that many Banelings early game is a sizable investment from Scarlett as well, let's not forget, but Drewbie's aggression for now is going to be over. Ooh, pardon me. Is he going to get a couple of queens? Just as I say that, it looks like one goes down. The second one will survive. Good transfuse.
All right, the Marines taking out the Mutalisks right now, and that is a huge victory for Drewbie, that he just managed to take out 2 Mutas and a queen and a number of Zerglings. Another queen. Looks like it's going to go down here. No, he decides instead to target fire the Mutalisk. Figures he'll get that queen later. It's down to just 16 hit points.
Here's the thing, though. Drewbie needs to make sure his reinforcing route is okay. His aggression only works as long as he reinforces units along the same way he retreats. When we saw him move towards Scarlett's 3rd base, for example, with his units, the reinforcements in his main army were basically in 2 different places, and that allowed Scarlett just to easily push it back. As soon as Drewbie moved his army back into the same place, on the low ground where you see it now, his attack's a lot stronger. So we need to see Scarlett play this very carefully. She should be able to hold this back as long as she's made enough Lings and Banelings, but she's just making a lot of Mutas right now.
I know you can't see
they're
it,
the Banelings. There we go.
Baneling speed is done, Jorisar, and these Banelings are going to be incredibly more effective. And look, Drewbie realizing this timing, actually, you know what? He came up with the Hellion and he got a peek at the Baneling nest. That's why we see him pulling out. So a very intelligent play here out of Drewbie, and well, now Scarlett's going to have the opportunity for aggression. She's actually morphing in more Banelings.
Well, Banelings do appear to be the order of the day so far in this matchup, Kibbles, and 8 more in the middle of the map. Scarlett going to be expanding and grabbing that macro hatchery at the same time. These Mutas just going to establish map control, count the number of Marines. Now, we do have quite a lot from Drewbie here. Note that he's gone for, I think he's gone for Stim first as opposed to Combat Shield, so these Marines are a little bit squishy to Banelings at the moment.
Yeah, very much so.
Has to be very careful.
No armor, in fact, either, so these are going to die incredibly fast to Banelings, guys. If you have combat shields, it takes 2 Banelings instead of 1. So that's, an incredibly large factor here. Scarlett coming in from the side, getting a few picks on some of these Marines, trying to lighten up the count a little bit. But right now, this game is incredibly even.
And the Drewbie's pre-splitting, but Scarlett being very smart here, using her Mutalist to go into the main base to harass. And what this does, it forces Drewbie to clump up his Marines because he wants to head back into the main base to stave this off. So he has to pre-split all over again at the bottom here to try and take these out. And look, the Marines actually clump up a bit to take out the Mutas, but here come the Banelings moving in towards the low ground here. So many Banelings popping in here. The SCV's completely clumping up, and oh my goodness, this is a massacre.
Banelings destroying absolutely everything, hitting a timing here right before these tanks popped out, and Drewbie had quite a number of Marines. Scarlett doing a beautiful job. There's the GG, in fact, out of Drewbie. Guys, incredibly good game there. I really want to highlight that Scarlett did a beautiful job pulling those Marines out of position.
Yes, at the end there. That was so important for Scarlett. Moving the Mutalisks into the main base. Why do you do that? So the Marines move back. When the Marines move back, of course, you've right-clicked, either a Mutalisk or a patch of ground you want the Marines to move to. They slowly start clumping up again. Using the Mutalisk to force the Marines to attack them means that Scarlett had such an easy time coming in with the Banelings in the second half of that engagement, and what resulted, as you saw in the natural expansion, was pure carnage. It was beautiful to watch.
Hey, you know, Scarlett showing that mutas are still good units.
Oh, yeah, man. Very good.
They really are.
And that means that Scarlett is going to be taking the 2-0 victory over Drewbie here. And that also means that our next match is going to be a pretty exciting one.
I can't. We just finished a first round bracket.
Yeah.
Round of 72. Guys, things have started here at IPL. It's going to be a fantastic weekend. We are just getting kicked off. We'll be back after this quick commercial break with more for you coming up next.
MMA and Shine.
Shine.
Rated M for mature.
idea, Homestuck, Diablo 3, Dubstep, Minecraft, Adventure Time, Dungeons & Dragons,